back.
Yes, sir. We're back.
Blue collar family.
Yes, sir. Hell yeah, brother.
We're dropping the episode number, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
I don't know what it is.
I think we're getting better.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do our million listeners think?
Million listeners. Should we start off with your week?
Yeah. Well,
Let's remind,
We can always.
let's remind the listeners what we do here, right?
yeah. I mean, okay.
All right, go for it.
Remind the listeners what we do.
All right.
Go ahead, Vince.
Yeah. You know, it's.
In case this is the first time.
If you haven't watched in a while, and this is your first one.
Yeah. If that's the case, then, my primary job is in telecommunications. So, this week, it's pretty smooth. I mean, last week, if you watched last episode, we had a bunch of mishaps with high-level companies. But this week
Wasn't as bad.
nothing of the sort, honestly. A lot of, I don't know if it's the size of the company means more undersight, and a smaller company, you get more oversight. However it works out. Smaller companies are usually about their business. It's a lot easier to get in, get out.
I think that.
The larger companies, they don't know what the fuck's going on.
I think that's a possibility. Too many people involved.
Yeah.
Not. But if you can go to, I think it's just the help nowadays.
Yeah.
I mean, you said that guy at the lobby didn't know what the fuck to do, how to type a name in.
Couldn't put his name. My friend, just
Hey,
open your computer, put the name I'm telling you in. I swear to God, it will pop up. I swear it'll be there.
I just got off a call where the guy goes, we don't take Amex, we only take American Express.
It's Friday for him too. He's all.
I forget what day it is sometimes.
So,
It's
yeah.
Friday.
It is Friday.
I don't know. I think it's hit and miss. It's you got some bright people out there, but just don't know how to communicate.
Yeah. No doubt.
So I don't know. Yeah. So we shoot the shit every week. Blue collar family. We are on a trade, different trade. We all talk about our week. For those of you who haven't listened, welcome. That's what we do. Right? Vince is the telecom guy. Alex is the elevator guy.
Yep.
I'm the plumber guy. We have a couple other guys decide not to show up sometimes, or all the time.
It's all right.
Yeah, we got guests.
Right.
They come when they can.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody's busy.
Yeah.
So better week this week, huh, Vince?
Yeah, like I said, it's pretty smooth sailing. I told myself this Monday, I'm like, hey, if this week is anything like the ending of last week, I'm gonna fucking explode. Like, what I mean? Someone's gonna hear it from me because I'm fucking done, right?
Yeah.
It ended up being a pretty smooth week, so nothing to complain about too much. On my part, I'm as solid as they can be. So there was maybe some issues with our PC department. It's like project control. But those guys, technically, there was a few mistakes they made. So we opened up a meeting, invited those guys, let them know what was going on, what to correct, and how to fix it, so that in the future they could, we don't make those same mistakes. But other than that one, spot in the week, great week.
Nice.
So you guys have planning meetings?
Well, we get, like any other company, you do maybe a weekly meeting or bi-weekly meeting, whatever you do. We do a meeting once a week. If anything comes up in that week that's outside that meeting, like this one, this instance, should I say, with improper placement of, work.
Yeah.
We scheduled more of an urgent meeting. Everybody jumped on and then explained to them what happened, why it happened, and how not to do it in the future. So,
Yeah. Those meetings, I think they need to happen, right?
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's once a week, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever. I think they have to happen. Otherwise,
You keep making the same mistakes,
or stuff falls through the cracks.
yeah.
Right? So I'm assuming, Alex, your company, you guys do weekly meetings?
No, we don't do weekly. We do like what they
Project
call their toolbox talks.
Yeah.
Just for
JSAs?
us. Yeah, it's kind of like a JHA. We do those. Well, we do JHAs every day. We do like our safety just once a week. And then once a month, we do go to the shop for like a big safety meeting, and that's where they'll roll out any new stuff that's coming out or any new plans they got and tell us what's going on with, the company.
I was talking to a client earlier today about how we kind of do a podcast. She's a teacher at a community college here in the area, and I was just telling her how we talk about the trades and different stuff. How trades are going away slowly because back in the 80s, 90s, people were being pushed to go to school,
Oh yeah.
go to universities, get a bachelor's degree, and the jobs aren't out there now, right? I mean, there's plenty of jobs. They're just not out there for all those kids that went to school. So what are those kids doing? They're
Living at home, actually. They're not doing much.
right.
You know.
So she said, yeah, my son doesn't know what he wants to do. He's going to graduate this year. He doesn't know what to do. He's thinking of, maybe doing an internship and doing a trade. I said, that's the way to find out if you really want to do something, right?
Yeah.
Figure out, instead of spending all that money, go out and check it. So
Yeah.
I said, hey, I think the most paid is elevator. That's the highest demand because there's not many of you, right, Alex?
Right.
Right.
Well, there is a lot of us.
Compared to the other trades, maybe?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no. Their union is smaller compared to other unions like the iron workers or the electricians or the laborers or any of the millwrights. Those guys have thousands of members more than the elevators. But the good thing about the elevator union is that they literally have a hold on almost 100% of the work that happens.
Right.
They have to go through the elevator union.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of telling her, the different trades and what's out there, and she said, yeah, you're right. Everything we're talking about, she said, you're actually right. I don't see any of these trades going anywhere anytime soon, and there's not enough people to fill those positions coming out, right? People are retiring every year, and nobody's really filling them, right? And then I just said, if you think about it, the track record, like Alex told us a couple of podcasts back. One of my questions is, when was the last time somebody had an accident or there was an accident live, right? So they have to know what they're doing. That's probably
Yeah.
why they're getting paid what they get paid,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, most dangerous part of our job is if we mess up on gas.
Bye-bye home.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so cool. So
guys
your week went pretty smooth.
Yeah, mine's, like I said.
No
smooth.
complaints, huh? No stories to tell. Nobody pissed you off this week. You went in, did your 5-10 minute jobs, and you were out.
Yeah, 100. Well, it might take me that 5-10 minutes, but it took an hour overall. But anyways, yes. Like I said, the only thing that I had to worry about was the main OSP managers for the area
Right.
coming down and being like, hey, the major, like the engineering planners are pissed because these guys missed something.
Yeah.
So then I had to go and talk to the other guys, which made them, made the emergency meeting to let them all know and then correct the mistake.
You ran the meeting, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because I talked to the main OSP manager. He's like, hey, this is what's going on. I'm like, yeah, no worries. I'll take care of it. So then you go and take care of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Did you get any like, well, the reason we don't do it this way is
No.
because no, okay.
You got these guys, like anything else, like the people I'm surrounded with are professionals in their field. You know what I
Right.
mean? So like anything else, mistakes happen. Like, mistakes always happen, but it's how we understand the mistake, how to learn from it, and to move forward so it doesn't happen again. So everybody takes it in stride. We're not calling anybody out in particular. It's
Right.
just one instance. Well, there's a few instances, but this one was the kind of the camel's, the what do they call it? The line that breaks the camel's back,
Yeah.
whatever.
The straw that broke the camel's back.
Exactly. That was it. So then I had to say something.
Yeah.
Anyways, simple enough. You know what I mean? Simple enough.
Yeah.
You guys?
Where
Tell
did
me.
Alex go?
I had a pretty fast week.
Yeah.
Fast.
You guys didn't get a chance to meet for lunch?
No.
You guys miss each other at
You know,
Stanford?
honestly, I
you
didn't
go
go
back
back
to
to
that
that
job?
site yet. No, I have not.
Good.
I'm hoping maybe this next week.
Okay.
Right.
I know Monday. I know where I'll be Monday, but it's not there.
It's not there.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Super fast week. Like today, it just went that fast, you know. Monday, finished wiring up the controller. Went pretty fast. Not much, you know, to say there. Tuesday, I went back to Yuba, finished the car that I was working on there. It's ready for inspection. Finished there probably 2 hours earlier than, you know,
Oh,
expected. But
Is that a hotel, Alex? Or
no, it's not a hotel. It's jail.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
'Cause I was saying, what's in Yuba that needs a
Is it an active jail or is it a
It's
new
an
jail?
active jail.
So these
Yeah.
motherfuckers are around there incarcerated,
Right.
locked up, won't let me out.
Right.
Damn, you see any fights on the yard or anything?
No. We're not in the yard part. We're like the elevator that we're working on, like services the kitchen and like the basement where the laundry mat's at,
Gotcha.
and you know.
I think this would have been more highlighted knowledge if you would explain that to us a couple weeks ago.
I-
But
yeah, I think we would exploited that.
I didn't want to, you know, put that jail out, you know.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's just Yuba. There's a lot of jails in Yuba. I don't know.
I'm
Could be
glad I
city,
asked.
county, penitentiary. We don't know what's out there.
You know, it's a jail.
Hey, imagine somebody pops out of the shaft.
Bro,
No.
I'd be like, get out of here. Hurry.
They got everything pretty much locked up there. You know, when they move prisoners or whatever, there's always 2 cops with them.
They're
so-
counted, yeah.
Yeah, so they're a pretty efficient place.
Nice.
From what I seen.
I was going to say, you don't see any holes, right? Yeah.
Right. From what I
gotta
seen.
get outta here right
you
here.
Why is that crack in there?
Well, yeah. So
You're all, something's coming up from the floor, guys. Oh, it's a person. He's digging out. He's digging out. We got a digger.
yeah. So finished that up. Wednesday, I had a deal. Had to go back to Stanford, dealing with electricians because they're bringing power to our controller, so I could start, you know, spinning the motor, and that way I could start roping. That took, I would say, 9 hours for them to run one pipe to our controller.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and then the funny thing is the electricians, they got laid out early in the morning by their foreman how to do it, and then
But the work wasn't done.
so it was like 8 hours in it. Foreman comes back, you know, because it's getting
Yeah,
end of the
clean
day,
up,
comes
yeah.
back, and you know, they're at the point where they have already pulled the wire. They've already they had to shut down the power, pull the wire. They're at that stage where they pulled the wire. They hooked up the wires on the transformer side, and they were getting ready to hook up the wires in the disconnect. That's when his foreman showed up, and some other guy, I'm guessing, in their office. And dude, they started working faster. I almost didn't want to say nothing to, you know, his foreman, but I was like,
You're all, hey,
whoa,
man.
this guy's moving now.
Yo, did you give some drugs? What is up with
I
this
was
dude?
like, man, why couldn't you do this, you know, 7 hours? Could have been done.
Yeah.
To his foreman.
But yeah, that took the whole day. It worked. Power was on. We got the right voltage going to each end. And then, what was it? Thursday, spun the motor. Well, before we spun the motor, there was a little issue that we had that ate up a lot of my time. The encoder was, the way it was set on the prints, it was wired correctly. But luckily, I called the adjuster, and he was in the area, so he came down and helped me out. And one of the wires, like, we were troubleshooting for probably less than an hour, and I think we had just given up, like, oh, we just have to order a new encoder that goes on the motor. We were walking down the stairs, and then he just got an idea. Well, why don't we just swap the negative and positive, see if that works? I did that. Fired right up. I was like,
was running like what, negative 48?
no,
What kind of power
it wasn't.
pulls it?
It wasn't running. It didn't see the that's that encoder. It didn't see it. The computer didn't see it, so it said either wiring problems or damaged.
Gotcha.
So we checked all the wiring. Wiring was good. I mean, we couldn't spin the motor to see if we were getting continuity from
The motor, spinning.
encoder. So
Oh, gotcha.
yeah, because it wouldn't move, and then we flopped those two, and then it saw it. The fault went away, and then
Fired right up.
fired right up, and I was like, "Fuck!"
You're all.
That took all fucking day.
Well, now when that problem happens again, you're all, hey, switch it.
That's usually what happens when I run into an issue and we figure something out, like just switching two wires or whatever.
Yeah.
When I run into it again, of course, that would be one of my options.
You're all one
But hold
of
on,
many.
I've been down this road.
Oh yeah,
Flip those
yeah.
two.
Let's see what we got here. Let me see.
Yeah, but yeah, fix that. That was Thursday. Friday or today, we were roping.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were roping the car.
Those 1/8-inch lines, huh?
Well, they're not 1/8 inch. They're 5/16.
Oh, 5/16.
If you're standard,
Yeah.
8 millimeters, 5/16. So 7 of those is 7 ropes, not 8. 7. That took all day. It's underslung car, and then my helper was not paying attention, so that took
It's Friday.
Yeah, it was one of those days.
You just
It was just
Grab
like
the line.
last Friday.
here's the line.
Every once in a while, he'll just
Yeah.
have a lot of brain farts. But yeah,
Thinking about his weekend plans, bro.
probably. But yeah, we finished. Car's running on its own power. It's sitting on its own weight.
Is this a full elevator or a dumb waiter? Like you were
This is a
talking
full passenger elevator.
about? Gotcha.
Same. The last one I built is right next to it. It's the same car, just a mirror image. It's a duplex, so that's what they call it when there's two next to each other.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
Okay.
Nice.
pretty fast.
So that one's done then. That job's wrapped up.
No. So it's roped. Now we're gonna do. We're gonna get all the rigging off that we used to rope the car, and then we're gonna start doors.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna be replacing the doors, new door tracks.
On every level.
Yeah, 5 floors.
Oh no shit.
So every level we're gonna be taking the doors off. All the hanger that the door, rides on, that's coming out. We're putting all new stuff. After that's done, then we're gonna start building the front of the car. Put that door in, put the buttons in, start wiring up that.
Oh, so you guys don't even have the buttons. You're running off purely the controller.
Just a run
then?
station.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's usually plugged into what?
That's plugged straight to the controller.
Okay, and the controller sits on top of the elevator.
The controller's in the machine room in the basement.
Oh, so you have one long ass line connecting it?
Yeah. So before we roped, we hung the travelers, all the wires that go up to the car. So we're using all the spare wires just to run the buttons.
Got it. That
Yeah,
makes
so-
sense. So when it's done, those spare wires will be yanked out.
Yeah, we'll just take our plugs off of them, lay them in the trough, and
See you later.
right, spare wires.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how they designed that car. So
Oh.
it works out. We still got a couple more weeks before we can say it's done.
All right, project's moving along though.
No, yeah, it's moving along. We get a hiccup every once in a while,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Nice.
fast week.
Can't beat
I
it.
feel like I just left here, yesterday.
Honestly, I would say very much the same thing.
Like I'm back on the couch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know the joke, right?
No.
All the action happens on the couch. You know what I mean? You see, never mind. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. It's the casting couch, bro.
Yeah.
I got it. All right,
Serge, what's up with you, man?
Uncle Rico.
Man.
Oh, Uncle Week.
So
Tough one. Huh?
you guys know, I'm part owner in the business,
Of course.
and a lot of the shit falls on me. Right. A lot of the responsibility. Everybody has their own responsibility, but I feel like my job is one of the most stressful
Of the bunch.
of the bunch, right? Similar to you, right? I had an issue on Monday with the duplex system with the sewer pumps.
But this duplex system is an actual duplex
It
house,
is. It is.
home.
It is. No. This is a duplex sewage system.
Oh, okay.
So
sewage
it's
system.
a dual pump.
Gotcha.
Where one pumps works, the other one stays on standby.
Standby.
That first pump needs help. The second one kicks in to
Gotcha.
help out, right? Or if it's too much water or sewage coming in, both of them kick on, controlled by a panel.
Clear
Right.
it.
So, like you, I have a buddy that's an electrician that does all the electrical work for us, right? And he was just like frustrated because we couldn't get the things going. And I
Oh,
said-
the pumps weren't
yeah,
activating.
I said, well, he's like, well, I did all my stuff. You know, it should be working. And I said, well,
Yeah, come back out, bud, because these are not on.
Yeah.
champ, the pumps are working. They're not being activated, so something's wrong with the electrical part. Right?
Yeah.
So usually when you have a sump pump, it's because you're in a basement.
Yeah, 100%.
You don't have good reception in a basement. So if
Or
you're
floods,
trying to troubleshoot, you got to get out of the basement, go upstairs, and shit, right? So
Or invest in those walkie-talkies, bro.
no, but how do you talk to tech support?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's too bad of those old Nextels. Remember the Nextels? You can
Yeah.
just ping a number.
No, so we use walkie talkies. My pet peeve. I have several, but my pet peeve is when these guys are yelling from under the house. To, hey, I need this. Ah.
Feels unprofessional.
It does. So I got them radios and say, hey, use your radio. Talk into it. Not that hard.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
It's not. Right? Now, you have some customers that don't like that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Even though you have construction going on in your home, you don't want people yelling.
Yeah, they feel
Right.
inconvenienced. Like, oh, these guys are just out here wild.
Especially if they're working from home, you know.
Yeah. So I have the pressure where I need to finish the show. And you don't finish it, you don't get paid.
Of course.
Right? And I don't. I'm the type of company that I don't charge up front. Technically, it's illegal.
Yeah, you got to charge at least 20% or 30%, I think it is, isn't it? Because you take a part up front, because that's usually...
If you purchase parts and stuff like that, then you have the right to, right? But the reason they're getting more stringent on this is because there's all these contractors, sometimes unlicensed,
Oh.
are going
Not sometimes.
charging 50% and say, yeah, I'm gonna. They show up with some material and take off. You never see them again, right? So I like to build that trust with the client. So sometimes I don't charge them till the end. But again, right, we're not doing 30-day, 90 days. We're doing within a couple of days or when inspection is closed.
Yeah.
We're getting paid 100%, right? So that pressure that we're starting a big job on Tuesday. We're there Monday, and it's like 9 o'clock, and we can't get this thing going. I at least need one of these pumps to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, first time putting one of these in. Find out the tech support sucks for that company.
Oh, for the actual pump company.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. I don't know if it was the electric company that you
So-
were using, obviously.
Yeah, so you kind of try to educate yourself, so you're scrambling looking for stuff. So thankfully, the client understands these things. So I was able to do like a manual type of thing where you just push the button and
It'll start.
It's not the solution we want, but at least I have to keep the lid open, which means your basement's going to smell like sewage.
Yep.
Right. That's unpleasant, right? So I'm thinking, fuck, what do I do?
Charcoal filter. No, well, look at the wire.
Oh, I got to get these guys at another job site tomorrow.
Oh, so you need that shit to fix.
Yeah.
ASAP.
Yeah. So long story short, I think we have all had those days where we're stressed out. I'm sure you were stressed out because the elevator wasn't working and you're like, shit. And it was that simple little,
Right.
after we finally, the electrician he went above and beyond, right? He was like, no, let's get this going. I told him, Chip, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not a plumbing problem. This shit is pumping up. When there's power, it's pumping up. We need to figure out electrically why it's not working.
Yeah, where's the
right?
break?
There's something wrong. He goes, I wired it how the specs say and everything, right? These guys, after 2-3 days back and forth, finally yesterday, Wednesday,
Okay.
we get with somebody that knows what the fuck they're talking about.
Oh.
They said, let me
Customer support help?
let me put you on through to this guy. And this guy goes, well, I'm the guy that if I don't know the answer, fuck, we're done.
Yeah.
Right?
Screwed. Sorry, buddy. Just send a new model out.
So electrician's saying, hey, look, this is what's going on. we have power. The pump's going to GFCI outlets. He goes, oh, wait. Are you in California? And he said, yeah. That's why. These guys are in Georgia. He's like, that's why what? He's like, the pumps are within, or electrical is within 6 feet of water. We need GFIs. Okay, yeah, but these aren't meant to work on GFIs. They have to go direct to the box.
So they need dedicated outlets.
Well, they did. No, they had dedicated outlets. It's just that these pumps come with prongs. He goes, no, you got to cut the prongs and cut and wire them directly. That's probably why it's looking for pump number 2 that you have disactive. So you need to go to pump 1.
So you're saying that the ground on the pumps was interfering?
No, he said the GFI was interfering.
Well, isn't that the grounding?
Well,
I'm not an
basically an
electrician.
outlet.
Right.
It's basically an outlet going in to a wall, right?
Yeah, but the third prong is usually for grounding. So if he's telling you to cut that prong off,
Yeah, and it usually
No,
checks
he's
for
telling you, cut the head,
the damn head.
wire it directly to the box. So we said, oh, okay. He goes, I'll go over there and do it in 15 minutes. Can you get there? I said, no, I can't get there right now. I'm coming back from another job. So I said, just do what you have to do. Wire it, I said, and just tell me where you want me to wire that second pump to.
Oh, sure.
And then we'll take care of it.
Wouldn't you put it to the same breaker? Or I guess maybe a breaker.
No,
next
it's
to it,
two
I
separate
guess.
breakers.
Yeah.
They have to be on separate breakers. So
Yeah, you don't want the one splice or what do you call it, tripping, and then the other one not turn on because it's on the same breaker.
that's exactly why. Right. So Monday night was a shit show. I couldn't sleep. I was stressing out. Didn't finish this job. Now I got this big job coming up, right?
Yeah.
So, and of course, the guys that are working, they don't care.
No, they're like,
They
you guys,
They finished for the
tomorrow,
day.
guys.
They finished for the day. Like I told, look, I call this guy Mr. George.
Mr. George.
Tomorrow
These guys are no good, Mr. George.
You're going to be at the other fucking job, and you're not going to care about this. He goes, that's why you're the boss. He said, yeah. So
You're all going to strangle you, motherfucker.
I said, so yeah, exactly. I said, so if I get irritated because you're not doing the things I want,
Yeah, X, Y, and Z.
the way I want you to do it, I said, because I have to stay here
Yeah.
until I figure something out, right? Yeah. So, long story short, after 4 or 5 calls, emails back and forth, and we finally got it going. So today we added a second pump, and the thing's working now.
So you cut it and you ran it straight to the breaker, and it worked.
No, so that's one. So again, this is a duplex. So that panel requires 2 pumps to be working. Otherwise, what was happening is pump 1 was working for like 5 flushes, and it would go to pump 2. Pump 2 was deactivated.
Oh, so then it was off.
So it would work for the first 5 times, but then it would look for pump number 2. And so now pump number 1 wasn't pumping anything out anymore. So we said, okay, let's do it this way. And sure enough, you learn something new every day, right?
Well, so what was the end result was you chopped the plugs on both pumps?
No, the end result is you needed both fucking pumps connected in order for the thing to work the way it should.
Okay, so both needed power.
Well,
started working.
Well, both needed power, but they both needed to be connected because the way the system works, pump number 1 works for a couple of
Cycles.
and then it says, time for you to take over pump number 2.
Got it. So
Right.
one doesn't get more work than the other.
Exactly.
Yeah, all right.
So the good thing is that manually we could do it. The customer didn't mind. He would say, okay, I just go take a look. We had the high water alarm in case it did get too high. At least that was active. Hey, go and pump the shit out.
Yeah.
So learn something new. Like Alex said, right? Next time this comes up, I know exactly what to do. And
What to
my
expect.
electrician knows how to wire it the right way, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but... Well, I think we should finish that other big job tomorrow.
Okay.
So we finished that job earlier today. Should finish that job that we started tomorrow. Nice, decent sized job. So the week got better as the days got by, right? So it's that unknown that what you don't know, or if you don't know how to do something, that kind of puts you on edge and stresses you out a little bit. So why are we like this? Because we're understaffed and we have a bunch of work. Right. I'm basically booked for all of April.
Oh,
The
okay.
clients are willing to wait for us as we're doing jobs. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
a good
good.
sign. That's a
Yeah.
good sign. And we must be doing something right. But I know it's draining. It's draining. It's going on about a year where I work every day. I work every day. I don't mind. This is my business, right? But this is what you signed up for. And if you don't have the guts to grind every day, you're not going to do well in the business. So,
Yeah.
with that said,
No doubt.
we interviewed a couple of people this week at the same time.
Oh, like a panel interview?
No, like one-on-ones, and
Oh, okay.
so it's hard to find somebody good, right? It's hard.
What's
to
the
find somebody
golden rule?
Good.
It's hard to find good help.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's hard to find, and
Yeah.
that last interview, I had to do it on FaceTime. I was
Oh.
supposed to be here. I couldn't be here physically. They made the drive out here to come and meet, and I said, "Hey, put me on FaceTime." I can't do it.
Yeah.
That's the only way to do it. I said, other than that, if we reschedule, it's kind of fucked up for them, right? It's not their fault. So
Yeah.
So we went through the interviews. You know when you get a gut feeling where you feel it's right.
Oh, sure.
That's what I got off all these guys that we interviewed. So we were looking to hire 2 people. I think we're hiring 4 people.
Damn.
Yeah. So
all guys had the experience looking for the.
they were looking.
credential?
They were looking. They had what we were looking for. Right. Some guys have the experience. Some don't, but they have other attributes. Where I see one of the guys as me. As what I was when I first started. So yeah, I mean, I felt good about it.
Should we take a break?
No, we can take a break. We can pause, or
It's not our
this guy
pizza.
come in. Yeah, yeah, it is.
Perfect.
It's your pizza?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Remember
Taking
the
a
guy
break.
said the guy says we don't take Amex.
I don't know.
Yeah, we had a little.
All right, we're back.
Little interruption.
A little break.
Not a problem.
Yeah, somebody creeped up on us.
I seen him drive up. I was like, where?
Good thing you seen him. I felt him. I was like, "Who the hell's here?"
Where were we before?
Right before the dude
Interviewing.
came up. Yeah, you
Oh,
were
interviews.
interviewing some people.
Yeah, good candidates. Good candidates. I actually feel good about them. So I quickly sent my partner a message. I said, "Hey, I think we're gonna have to hire everybody."
Shit.
I mean,
You got to work for him.
Right.
yeah, and even if we don't right now, we have the ability to turn it on to get more work.
Yeah, expand.
You know
Start
what I
sending
mean?
him out.
So now, and some of these guys are guys that you can send out. You know, you obviously want to train them for a little bit, but you can send them out. So I
Small
told him-
calls or whatever.
Yeah. So I told him, hey, I think we got to order some more vehicles.
Shit.
Doesn't
Or pair them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the way the business strategy is
Your model right now.
if you call the guy that's riding with you a passenger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You
Princess?
Don't want, you need that person in a vehicle so they can make money for you. At the end of the day, this is a business, so it's not get a van and start going. You got to either get it painted, logoed,
Yep.
all that stuff, right? Put the racks in, shelving, a divider, stuff like that. People don't realize it takes some time to get a van out on the road.
Commercial.
Not only
vehicle.
that, the pricing of all that, your $30,000 base van turns into a $60,000 van real quick.
I wish it was 30.
Right. I was about to say.
I guess tariffs
That's actually a deal.
Tariffs are crazy. Yeah.
No, this is prior to
damn it.
tariffs. This is like, I think our vans cost about 75 base.
Base model.
I guess you're rocking what, Mercedes out there? Stop it.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey, what's that? It costs to be the boss.
Yeah, but you're presenting a certain image
Yeah, no
for the
doubt.
company, so
We're not
Yeah,
selling.
you're not rolling up in Astro vans.
We're not. We're not selling plumbing. We're selling a service, and people are willing to pay for a service, right? So, some people don't want, Joey the butt crack
Yeah.
showing up to their house. They want
Yeah.
somebody that.
They don't want a handyman. They want the real deal.
So yeah, man.
service.
I mean, it went from a shitty start to the week to
Pump.
fuck, man. It's like, all right, I finally, I might have to. I actually, I've been getting home before sundown.
Right now, where we are, sundown is like 7:30. So
Yeah.
that's good news.
Yeah.
Think about it. I was getting home at 9,
Yeah.
9:30. Today, like you guys said, hey, you stopped by your house today. I said, yeah. I stopped by because I had to get some shit at home. But that's what my day's been. I mean, my days have been shorter.
Yeah, nice.
So,
It's good.
Gives you some breathing room. You know what I mean?
well, I have guys that kind of, are stepping up. That are kind of okay. Let's get this going. Let's get it done. Let's put a plan together.
Yep.
Sergio's stressing too much. We need to help him. Right.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So yeah. Cool. I mean, so I told my partner. I said, "This feels like this is that one where you're fucking working, and then one day, boom, it takes off." That's what it feels like right now. Where
Your the little plane has got off the ground slightly.
Yep. So good because I have a couple days coming up off.
Hell yeah. Get you some long needed relaxation, you know what I mean?
Yep. So anything else? Anything else we want to bring up? We were supposed to have a couple guests, but
Fell
always
through.
hit and miss with these guys, right?
Yeah.
That maybe sometimes they'll show up or sometimes not. We reached out to a couple guys last week, see if they wanted to be special guests.
Yeah.
Maybe next week
They said
we'll
yes.
get one in.
They said yes, but yeah, I mean, they're coming. They're
Yep.
coming.
Yeah. We have some down the pipeline.
Let's pick up from last week.
Right where we
ending of
left off last
week. Yeah.
weekend.
Let's talk about what 246.
246. Yeah.
246.
Number 246 right here.
Actually, let's jump in to the message you sent out earlier this week,
Oh yeah.
and then we'll lead into that 246.
Was it April 1st?
Was it April 1st?
Tuesday?
Well, Tuesday was it? Was this the
Tuesday was
second?
April 1st.
Yeah. Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Tuesday.
Yeah, because the 31st was Monday.
Yeah. Anyways, the application opened up at the local that I'm at, and at I think it said 8 or 9. I'm not too sure. I didn't look that too far into it, but I was talking to another coworker in service, and he told me that application was open. Was it supposed to be? Shoot, I wish I could remember. I think 2 days or 3 days, and it closed up in 20 seconds.
Oh shit!
700. I think he told me 700 spots filled up in 20 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah.
So people were ready. They knew about this.
Yeah, I was talking to my guy at work, and he said it kind of sucks that they put it online because not everybody locally can apply for it. They got them. He was telling me there's a bunch of out of state guys applying
that'll
for it.
jump in as well.
Yeah, that are also hunting for these, spots.
Desired. Well,
Right.
Trying to get into the elevator.
Yeah,
Wherever they can.
when I got hired, we had to go apply in person. At a hotel, and then once we did that, then we had to go take a test at another hotel. Wait in these long lines just to get in to do it. But now you better be tech savvy and type fast just to get your foot in the door.
Trying to get some Jordans, huh?
You know,
Right.
now that you say that, out of staters are jumping in.
Yeah.
That means that in each local, they have their open enrollment at different times.
Yeah.
So you can be technically putting your application in throughout the year through different locals through
Yeah.
the states, and whoever gets you on the line, I'm moving.
Yeah.
I guess that's
Yeah.
one way to do it.
Yeah, well, I do remember one time, I think when they first rolled this online deal out, that 1,400 people got in at one time because they didn't close fast enough.
Oh, so they were fucking booked.
Yeah, they were booked. They were just
Shit.
yeah.
So
And I
once-
think
Go ahead.
that one closed in like 10 seconds, even shorter time.
Dude.
So what happens when let's say this happens, right? 700 and some people applied and got in, That's only a part of the process.
Right.
It's almost like a lottery, right? Or winning getting the Nikes online. Got them, right?
Yeah. Now.
You got picked, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So once you get in, you have, like you said, you have to go and test.
Yeah. So usually, what I tell guys from my experience when I went through this process, 2016, you go and take like a GED test. You know, reading, writing, tool assessment.
Mathematics.
Stuff like that. Once you get, if you pass that, then you go to interviewing process. And then once you get past that, then you get on the list.
So take a step back. The test, how difficult or what type of questions does it have?
Well, like I said, it's like it's kind of like a GED test. Just basic reading, writing. It's, I would say, 2-3 hour test. And when I did it, they kind of like walk through you each section of the test. It was all timed. You have to finish it between this section, between this time, and then they'll tell you to close that side and then open up this booklet. But I mean, they probably do it all computer now. So
Are they math questions, English questions,
math questions,
scenarios?
English questions. What do you do in this scenario? There is for what I remember, there's like a tool assessment. What is this tool? And then multiple
Mechanical
question.
section.
You put down what that tool is if you know what it is.
So they're weeding out. So out of those 700 applicants, how many people get through?
I would say probably, I hope half, but I would say they all get in, then there's 700 spots.
Yeah, because potentially the right candidate probably got left out because
They couldn't get in.
They didn't push enter in time.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh wow,
Right.
that kind of sucks, right?
My thing is that, so you went through the in-person process. Did they have 700 slots when you went?
I don't remember. I just remember I was 246.
That's what I'm saying. Like 246 out of 700.
You can't.
Well, I mean now, yeah, but the list isn't nowadays. It's not going through
it's
that
ever
fast.
growing.
You're right. It's getting bigger, but they're also not hiring that many guys. So
Got it.
from what I understand, you just get rolled into the next year where you left off.
Oh, so once you're on the list,
You can choose to stay.
but where you choose
But
to
you're
stay
just-
at
you're
that
just-
same level?
But whatever, I
Because
believe,
people testing in can
Right.
go on top of you, right?
Exactly. So whatever score you got, I'm pretty sure they put you wherever you're at.
That's it. Yeah.
However the list lands,
Mm-hmm. It could be
from what I
constant going
understand,
down.
Yeah.
from what I hear, I'm not
Yeah, you're
in that process anymore.
or you're not in the, in-house union to see all the, inner workings of how they pick
Right.
people.
I don't go to all the meetings. I try to, but
You guys got what, every other?
every month.
Oh, you get once a month.
Yeah, once a month. But I don't go.
You better go and vote, bro.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, they do by mail now.
Oh, that's nice.
And then we do Zoom meetings, but I always forget. And they have a Zoom, part of that
As long
meeting.
as you're paying your fees, they don't give a fuck.
Right, as long as I pay my quarterly wages or quarterly
Gotta
dues,
pay your dues, man. Pay your dues.
They don't bother me too much.
Okay.
You don't want a union steward on the job asking for your papers and your fucking dues
No,
sheets not
you know
punched.
what? Every time they show up, they don't really do that.
Oh, they don't check
but,
you guys' shit?
Well, I've never been not paid up.
Yeah.
So whenever they come to my job, they're just talking this shit.
Yeah.
They're just,
Hey,
hey, how's
what's
it
up?
going? How's the job? Mm-hmm. But
I bet they know though. Who hasn't paid their?
right, I'm pretty sure they do.
That's their whole job.
I've never been on that
That
side
line.
of the road.
Yeah, yeah,
So
So you actually have to send a payment in.
yeah, I call. You could do it by mail.
So when because I was in the electric union when I was at NASA, somehow we fit in the
That
electric
section.
unit, right? And I don't know. If you asked me, I wouldn't know what it is because they took it from my check.
Oh, okay.
They took it from my check. So
When I was in the Ironworkers Union back in the day, same thing. They didn't allow you to do it by mail. You either had to I'm thinking now. I don't even think I could call in. You had to show up physically and pay your dues in cash.
Yeah.
And then they punch. Well, I don't know if they even punched a card. They just give you a new kind of receipt. And
Yeah.
your
Like
dues
a new
good.
card.
Written
yeah.
receipt.
Yeah, you're good for 3
paid.
months. Or
Yeah.
however much you paid, anyways.
Yeah, the card, the call in is new because of COVID. So
That makes
yeah.
it so
My
nice.
other trade, we had to go physically.
Yeah.
So, Alex, do you have a shop steward? The rep? They call him the steward, right? Or
The union rep?
The
Yeah,
union rep?
yeah.
That works at your guys' location, or is it somebody?
I'm
Does every company have their own rep, or
no
no? It's just one rep for the whole.
No, like in
in the union.
Right.
We
yeah,
have reps.
you should have a multiple people.
Right.
Right.
So, but that's what I'm saying. So, Alex works for company A. You work for company B. Is it you guys share the same?
You'd be like kind of like you call into the union hall. You're like, hey, I got a problem. This is
Right.
my site, and then somebody from that jurisdiction covering that area will
Right,
contact.
will
you.
come out.
Oh, okay. So yeah, there's a representative, but then within our
Company.
this is where when I was in ASSA, within the company we had a
On-site
shop steward,
representative.
A shop
Wow.
steward that he was the one getting the guys together. Hey, negotiations are coming up
Yeah.
for the new contract. This is what they're thinking. What do you guys think? This is voting is this day. He's kind of, or there was a problem. He's the guy. we
You
went
go talk
first.
to that guy.
He would report for you, and then he'd talk to the area rep, which my guy came from Sacramento.
What's funny is that's how the Postal Service union is. You got a union rep on site. And if you have any problems, you speak to that guy. He'll take it up with the other dudes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Very
Yeah, but
yeah.
they're usually in an office, right? In an office setting.
No, the Postal Service reps, they have
Yeah, but the post office has,
Multiple.
Multiple
you
buildings.
You got like
like for me, I'm on the site,
Yeah. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. The when you go like for the post office, I know because I have a few family members in the postal office or service. They literally work side by side with you. You know what I mean? So there's just one guy appointed that is going to be
That
the
was
main
my
guy.
Oh, okay.
You know, and that's who like handles all the union related issues.
Yeah, so we could have worked in the same building, and the mechanics had a different union. Their contract was completely different from ours, so they did, but I think it was actually the same. But it was just weird how they separated it. So it was somebody that worked within us that was our rep, and then we had the guy that actually was the region rep. So that's the reason I'm asking is because these guys had the option not to work certain shifts, right? They can say, okay, I'm not working this shift. My guy worked that shift because he wanted the overtime.
Okay.
He was a supervisor. He was a lead, so he was getting money for that. And then he was a shop steward, so he'd get certain benefits from that. So he was just taking.
You get extra pay for
I'm not gonna hate on
extra
him.
jobs.
I'm not going to hate on him, so why not?
Knock it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but I know that the mechanic lead steward would take advantage. He's like, "Fuck that! I'm not working fucking weekends or grave shifts." So that was one of the perks.
This guy, nah, the union's not like that.
No.
Okay.
So getting back to the number here, 246, 247,
246.
246.
Yeah.
So it took you. Well, now we know how. They drop the number,
Right.
how you apply, how
Yep.
quick it goes. You pull your number. You waited what? How long?
A year and a half. I waited a year and a half, and they gave me a call. I believe I would say a week before. And I remember talking to the union when they called me. I was like, "Hey, I'm going into a class that week. I'm in my last class." He's like, "Well, do you want to get in the elevator trade?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, well,
You're gonna
all
say
right, we
the
may or may not
class.
call you then."
Yeah,
Next
exactly.
week. I was like, all right, well, it's just giving you a heads up, asking if you still want to be in this trade. And I was like, yes. I was like, all right. Well, they ended up calling me. Never finished my class.
That was all she wrote for that union.
Yep. Well, I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, you're pretty solid in this.
Yeah,
one, so
I'm
don't
enjoying myself in this trade. I like it.
No doubt.
So what was the importance of 247, Vince? That you kind of wanted to know.
Well, ultimately, you know, the new date, like obviously you said 700 people dropped
Right.
in this new one.
That
Yeah.
was his draft date.
Yeah.
Draft number.
Draft.
Draft number 246.
Right
you know,
when the list hit.
700 people hit this year. You know, what's the time frame for them? You know what I mean? If someone,
2 years.
If they're at 246 as well, or any, you know, 300, 250, middle of the pack, you're thinking they're looking at 2 years waiting.
No, so every 2 years they reset that list.
Oh, so that
So-
means every 2 years you got to go back and apply.
Like I said, I never did that. So, but I would think yes, they would give you a call. You still want to be in the trade? Yes, then they'll rank you accordingly. You know, you pretty much start over. Like if the top 100 guys, you know, do better than you, they're going to be in front of you.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I told the guys that I was around my number is because they were all double or single digits.
There's no way. What were these fucking dickheads experience, bro? They were fucking touching somebody.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
you know,
Single digits?
single or double digits.
Let me ask
I
you-
don't
let me-
remember exactly what
Let
their
me
numbers
ask you
were.
a question about a single digit fucking guy. Was he what you expect a single digit to be?
There's a lot of single digit guys that I've met, and no,
They're fucking shit.
right?
So tell me what that means. The single digit, double digit, or triple digits in your case. Did that mean they just got seated higher than you? They got picked before you, or did they just do better on their test?
I mean, they
Probably all
either-
that.
Yeah, probably all three sections. You know, because they're either some. You know, I do know some guys. You know, because of their family, they got pushed. You know, up.
Oh.
And you
So
know,
that's what
I
I'm-
mean,
Favoritism?
but you know,
Sure. That's how it is.
So if something fills up within 20 seconds, that means somebody's tipping you off. Be ready because at this
Well,
time
yeah.
you're gonna this is gonna open.
Or you already know about it. Yeah.
right?
Right,
Or
right.
you've already tried so many times that you already know that it's going to close quick.
Exactly.
That's why I put, you know, try your luck. It closes up fast.
Okay. So okay.
Yeah, but yeah,
So guys are testing. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you're always gonna have those levels of nepotism, right?
Well, that's one thing that's kind of, I guess, I can understand that, you know, when you're at the job or after you get the job, then you're like, you know, you might be getting easier roles, but getting into it should be very similar to, you know, a guy that's getting into it just, you know, like a average Joe, right? You know, there should be some kind of balance there.
No,
Yeah.
now that I think about it, because sometimes they give priority to vets
Yeah.
unions, right? Is that true in your case?
I never heard of it, but
No.
I'd
I-
say yeah.
I know in that mechanics unions I was talking about, they give priority to vets,
Okay.
right? So it wasn't, hey, it's opening up to go in the union. It's you get an interview if they like you. Okay, this is a union job. A little bit different, right?
Yeah,
It's
that-
not a-
yeah.
It's not a lottery. So a lot of those guys knew each other. It was like, hey, can I bring my brother-in-law in? Can I bring my cousin in? And these guys are like. The grandfather worked there, the dad worked there. And
Yeah,
they're just
there is a lot of
lifelong,
families.
right? And you're just like, oh wow, okay.
You're all, this is a whole family affair here. Okay.
It's actually stranger. It's not strange to have people that know each other,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
It's stranger that like, how the fuck you get in?
Yeah.
guys
Being-
get offended. They're like, how'd you get in?
Being a
Yeah.
complete,
Yeah,
nobody.
yeah. Who do you know? You know.
I think my last either 4 or 5 helpers, I'd be like, how did you get in?
Yeah.
They didn't make this test harder.
You know what it probably is? Those guys, because you know, like any other like major test or union, they can go to training. I'm sure there's some classes that
But
teaches them what they need.
Alex is saying what's going on in today's
Yeah.
post COVID.
well,
Yeah,
It's almost if you have a pulse, you're going in.
yeah.
well, I don't know. He's just saying that the guys that he worked with recently, we don't know what their numbers are,
right.
but you know,
I should start asking. What was your number?
Yeah. Are you 900?
Single, double digit?
I want to gauge. Right?
Right.
I wanna
smack
gauge-
that motherfucker on the head if he's a single digit not knowing. You know, that's, I don't know. I guess that gets me like damn, when does the favoritism stop? Like you
It does.
got pushed
I
up,
don't
you're getting
think-
pushed
I
in.
don't know.
You know what I mean?
I think that's how.
Maybe some guys are better test takers than others.
Oh, 100%.
You know,
I'm a poor
pretty,
test taker.
I'm pretty sure I failed the interview because it was 5 guys and they gave me the questions in a paper and I was reading them because they were like, all right, read them so you can get prepared. I was reading them. I was like, this first question had like 5 questions in it. And then I was like, how am I going to answer all these questions?
Wait. Let's go to that.
Well,
what
no,
were the questions? Do you
I
remember the questions?
I don't remember them. I just remember being like stumped. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to?
That's something people want to know. What
I
the
know,
fuck
I
did they
know.
ask?
I can't tell you. I don't remember. And because they were just so hard for me. I blew it. I know I blew it.
I mean, 246.
I'm not a good test
seem like a
taker,
blower.
but I'm a good interviewer or interviewee. I can handle myself where, and I that attributes to back in high school when I was in a program where we were trained to interview. So if this was probably one of your first interviews, Alex, you're like, fuck, man.
Well, this is the first 5 people interview.
Yeah, panel
No,
interview.
but
Yeah.
by nature, you're kind of a shy guy. You're kind
Yeah.
of quiet. You know, you're not outgoing.
No.
You're the opposite of Vince, I would say, right?
100%.
Yeah. It's like-
You guys know me. I don't talk at all.
So there's people that are not comfortable speaking in public. You know, there's so like that. You know, there's people that do take tests well. You know, they're kind of they want to be on their own. They don't want to work with anybody. And there's people that thrive in a team environment. Right? So I think I took advantage of that of the interview process. I can tell you that my kids, I don't think they know how to interview because I see them and I'm like, that's why you're probably not getting a job, dude. Because they lack that social skills. Where my wife she's badass when she goes. She's never had a problem getting a job. So you need that social skill to kind of handle
Connect.
yourself in an interview, right?
Yeah.
That's why I said, that gut feeling you get. That's what I got with these guys, right? Even though it was over the phone, it was a FaceTime type of thing. These guys were looking at me. They were good posture. They were they were saying all the right things, and it was rare. And I said, "Fuck, we need to bring them back for a third, right?" So we pre-screen them. We have a company pre-screen them.
yeah, make sure
My partner,
enough felons.
yeah, my partner. No, not just that. But
Well, let's be clear. You can be a felon. You do your time. 'Cause I'm a firm believer. If
Right.
You do the crime. You do the time. You come out. You should be able to do work where you want. If you're a fully trusting person, you know what I mean. You've reformed, in
Right.
whatever aspect that might be. You deserve an equal shot as the next guy.
Yeah.
For sure. But some felonies are not okay.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah, and then not just that, right? But people are quick to judge. Yeah, you might have gone into some trouble because you were hanging out with the wrong people.
Exactly.
And you got caught up, right? And now you facing X amount of years in prison, and the guy didn't want to snitch on his friends and said, "Fuck it," right? And but
Well, the guys you interviewed, everybody came back. Okay.
So in order for them to get to us, they got pre-screened. They did their background checks, all that stuff, right? So we get them. We do the first interview and we say, okay, let me talk to the team and say when we can bring you back, or and so I said, I don't want you to do this on your own. I need to get feedback because ultimately I'm going to be these guys' bosses because I'm the one that's going to be on the field and tell them, hey, I need you to do this, do that, right? So I need them to be crystal clear on what we're about and how we work and what we want to do, right? So the last guy, I can see that if he showed up to somebody's house, to Hallen's house in the ritzy part of town,
Yeah, Woodside.
they're gonna be like, I don't know if I want this guy in my house. So he goes, I'm willing to trim my beard and cut my hair. I said, okay, because we're the Yankees, fucker. No.
Hey, the Yankees just allowed the beard policy, bro. You can have facial hair now on the team.
So,
First time in the history of the Yankees.
but that's as far. So, I think we're creating that culture where we're different. We're different from how other people operate, and we're being picky because fuck, it took a lot of work for us to get where we're at today.
Yeah.
And it's our name, it's our brand, right? And
It's their livelihood,
if
honestly.
we just let anybody in, it can
We can spiral real quick.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Wrong person can fuck you up, and that's the part of business that you need to understand. That now you have people that you're bringing in, to represent your company.
And not everybody has the same interest,
Exactly.
same mindset.
Exactly.
You know?
So that's why I said we're doing it a little bit different. One of the first guys, one of our guys, one of the partners left. The work was too much. He said, "I can't be doing 24/7 or."
Oh, when did that happen?
This was back in November.
Oh, okay.
And
Damn.
he said,
Yeah.
"I can't do this." He's like, "I have a young son, and he needs me. Respect it." That's
So,
cool.
did he? One of the partners, did he buy in? Did you have to pay him out? How did your guys'
So
partnership
how
work?
we bought in?
Yeah.
Everybody brought in their tools. Everybody brought an asset, right? If you had a vehicle, you bring it in. It was part of the company, right? His particular case, right? We didn't get paid for 9 months, so it's a startup, right? And you're willing to bank on yourself, right? There's an animosity from two of us because we were there every day. He was hey, I'm 9 to 5. I'm out. I gotta go. Okay, but we also want to leave. So it's like, you want to leave constantly. We want to leave too, right? So
Yeah.
it kind of got to hey, how come we're always doing it? He's collecting the same paycheck we are when we get some money.
Yep.
But he's not willing to put in all the work, and
Time.
I was like, okay, yeah, I see it, right? So it's the guy that never complained is starting to complain. Hey, man, when is it our turn?
Yeah.
When
Right.
is it our turn to take a day off or take a weekend off, right? How come we're out all day, every day? He's like, you have a granddaughter, I have a son.
Yeah, obviously, you got things going on at home. You want to be at home with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. So, we sat down and we were honest with them, and we said, hey, man, we have an issue.
This is where we're at, and this is where you are. And
Yeah, and-
are you going to fix it, or are
And
you
no,
going to?
he said, I have my son, and yeah, you're right. I got to make some changes. This is also, a priority for me. Yeah, and then a week and a half later says, hey, I'm gone, guys. Okay,
He probably used that week to find another job.
that's exactly what he's probably doing. So we just it's okay. It's not for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no
We
doubt.
played that clip from Ice Cube the other day, right? Remember?
Oh, yes, that's right.
Right?
Yes,
And
yes, yes. When he's talking about.
And I identify
Yes.
with it. It's 100% true. You're not willing to put in the work. If you're not willing not to take a dime for X amount of time, if you're not willing to grind, don't expect big returns.
Well, don't expect it immediately. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not
Right,
instant
right.
gratification here.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, we understand that one of these days it's just going to take off, and
Yeah.
And now we're not in the day-to-day operations, because if you think you can run a business and you can do the day-to-day operations of going and doing the work,
Well, doing the work and then doing the day to day
that's
and then
probably
doing
why
the
you're
fucking
not
shit.
growing, and that's probably why your company isn't that successful, because you got to bring people that you trust, that are willing to do the work, that share that same ideas that you do. You have to bring them in. They have to work their ass off. Treat them like it's their company too,
Yeah.
right? Treat people right at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as humans, we get greedy, right? And just
The nature.
because you own a piece of the pie doesn't mean you can't share it, right? So to me, if I'm winning, I want you to win, right?
Yeah.
And I think that shit comes back to help you in the long term, right? So
Yeah.
so
Yeah, you're cultivating, obviously the atmosphere you want to see in the
yeah,
future.
yeah,
so
like I told these guys, I want you guys to wake up and come to work, want to come to work, right? I wanted this to be a career for you, not a job. There's
Yeah.
a difference. A job, you're like, fuck, I got to go to work and, see these fucking people that I don't fucking like. You're not going to have fun. So at the end of the day, I don't want my guys being treated how some of us have been treated in the past. And that's a reason why we started the business, right? Because one time or another, we all got screwed over. So you don't want somebody telling you what to do it on your own, right?
Yeah.
That's the same reason when I started coaching, and I did it for so many years, I was complaining about the coach. This guy doesn't really know what the fuck they're doing. But then I said, fucking do something about it, right? You don't like this
Yeah,
coach?
don't sit there and complain.
Do something about
Be
it.
proactive, right?
And I did, right? I started, taking courses. I started, jumping on boards and going to meetings and all this stuff. And next thing you know, we're traveling all over the country and
Knocking it out.
And that's the effort you put in, right? The effort you put in is what you're going to get back in return. So, till this day, I still use stuff that I learned on the field with my team, playing competitively, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I implement it here because at the end of the day, we're a team, right? If one part of that link fails, we all fail.
You're gonna feel it. Yeah, everybody's.
We
Yeah.
all feel. We all fail. So it's important.
Yeah.
It's important to have the right people around you, smarter people than you.
I think that's not important. I think that's the most
ne-
important
It's
thing.
necessary.
Yeah,
right?
it has to happen.
Necessary.
Yeah.
And there's people out there that they think I can do it on my own. I don't want to pay this guy. I don't want to pay that. They're trying to wear multiple hats, and of course we had to do that at the beginning, right? We're still doing it, right?
Yeah.
But there came to a point where I was answering phones, I was on the field, as I was answering calls, I'm doing work. I'm like, dude, I can't be doing this shit, man. It's not effective. Plus, I'm getting stressed out. Right?
Yeah.
We got to get somebody on the phones, take that stress off of us, right?
Yeah.
So it's patience in getting there, but it went from a shitty week to a better week. So
Yeah, that's, you know what I mean. Hopefully, especially in your company currently, easier weeks are in front of you. You know what I mean?
right, and it's always going to be hard. There's going to be decisions to be made that you're not going to like, right? There's going to be clients that are going to get pissed off because something you don't control, right? Do your best and kind of do what's best for the client and be like, hey, I'm going out of my way to help you out. I understand this is out of my control, out of your control. And when you talk to people, when you're upfront with people and you're honest with them, they understand. But when you start making excuses or lying to them, they're going to see right through that shit, right? So,
Yeah, because you're not the first contractor they called out and got burned. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody got the story.
trust me. So that's the first thing that we see, right? When we show up to a person's house, they're kind of like, "There's this guy again, right? Yeah, he's trying to get me."
Yeah.
And honestly, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. All you have to do is listen. You have to listen to them. What do they want? If you start talking and you start trying to sell something, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's going to backfire you. So you just got to sit there and listen. Tell them what they, listen, what do you want? Right? Somebody's pushing something on you. The fuck away from me, dude, right? I think in anything, right?
Yeah, I guess that's also true. You know what I mean?
You go to a car dealership, right?
Yeah,
They come out in flock, right? Oh.
You go, like I mean, if anything else, you go into something with what you want in mind,
Right.
So when it starts getting way more or way less than that idea, you start to get apprehensive about it.
Yeah. I mean, tech is so advanced, right? We have technology on our palm of our hand, right? We can look at people's reviews. We can look at this guy or what these issues are. Some people try to self-diagnose, and those are the funny ones, right? Where you're like, okay, then what'd you call me for?
Oh,
right. So
you know it all. Why am I here?
yeah, what are you doing here then, right? So people are doing their homework, right? There's the in the car business, in any type of sales, they call them laydowns, right? People go, oh yeah, that one's gonna buy right away. Right? But now you see less and less of that. People actually need to understand what's going on. They wanna know, and the first thing you have to do is educate them, right? And once they kind of say, okay, this person knows what they're talking about, then they start to gain your trust. And then you go little by little. And once you're in, where, like I've said before, a lot of our clients are return clients, right? They're all return clients. And, now we're saying, okay, these people are starting to tell their friends, right?
I mean, that's usually how businesses grow, right?
Yeah.
You do a good job one place, they tell their neighbor, they tell their cousins, their fucking brother-in-law, whatever. Hey, you need some work? Actually, the guy that came to my house did this. Call him. Boom, bada bang.
We call client number one because she was our first one. She actually came from my partner's first. He used to work for a company out in the peninsula, and she looked for him. He left that company. He went to the company we were at, and she would call him and say, "Hey, I want you to come do the work for me." He goes, "Well, I no longer work there." She goes, "I don't care. I'm looking for you, not for the company." And so she's our client. She's our client number one, where
Nice.
she has us on a list of all her buddies and all her all the school parents and all that stuff, and she sends it a monthly fucking email.
Oh.
You guys need a plumber? These are the guys to call, right? And sure enough, we get about 5 to 7 calls a month
Generate some.
from and those are free. We don't have to pay for those leads for those calls because it's somebody that trusts us now and says, "I trust them. You can trust them too," right?
Nice.
They're not all sure things, right?
Yeah.
But still, it's
Foot in the door.
and that's all you need, a foot in the door.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Well,
That was a good podcast.
What do you guys think? Oh shit, man! The time flies.
we're here.
This thing went by.
Time
quick.
flies.
Well, I mean, we had a little break, so.
Yeah, but still, break wasn't that long, and we're coming along. It's nice to shoot the shit. Nice to
Yeah.
shoot the shit. I mean, Alex, any other feedback you've gotten?
No.
No feedback.
No.
Just our one,
You know.
our one fan.
Yeah. I mean, I'm having a lot of problems, editing these videos.
Yeah, that's one thing we should bring up here. Hey, outsource some editing if
Yeah.
somebody's watching is
Or somebody wanting to do an internship.
Yeah.
Shit.
We want credit for internship.
Something.
yeah,
We'll pay you in beer.
or a slice of pizza, something.
Yeah.
If you're too young to drink.
We just got to get a better camera.
Yeah, that's up next. We're slowly evolving here. We're gonna get a nicer camera. Stop with our video problems. Then maybe we can move on to a professional editor, or at least semi-professional,
Yeah.
and get us looking sharp.
There we go. I think we discussed that first time we got together that there's actually places that actually rent you the space that have everything there for you.
Really?
Yeah, remember that?
I think what's his cousin Fred. I think he was talking about that.
No, this was prior to him. It was the
This
first
was-
time we got together.
Oh,
Pilot?
Yeah,
On the pilot, huh?
We got together. We were talking about that, or was it Marco that told us? Somebody said something. I said, "Oh yeah, really?" Because I think we were looking for a space or something. And then somebody said, "Hey,
you probably were right. It is probably Marco. Marco
Marco
probably
probably
was
said
like, "Hey, you guys could,
Right.
knock it out over here or whatever."
Yeah.
That sounds familiar now.
yeah, maybe we can look into it.
Yeah.
Maybe we can look into it and
Well, space wise, I guess I feel like this is a nice space here.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if that space comes with an editor, then why not?
The only problem is we got to be on time, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, we're limited to the time.
Yeah, we got to be on time too, and just show, hey, well, your time's running.
Yeah,
Your studio's there.
exactly. But
Yeah, cool.
We'll see what's happening.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
good week overall.
Yeah.
I feel, Vince, I know you have a story, a good one in there, but you probably forgot about it.
What, this week?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, let me think. Like I said, let's think here.
It was slow week.
I mean, it was kind of slow, but
calm week.
yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, I'm busy as normal, but for any kind of issues I ran into, yeah, it was last week. That was the big brand. I was gonna drop that name on accident. That was that one. Oh, you know what? I do have one.
Let's see.
Here we go.
I know
I
you
do. So I went this week on Tuesday, I think, we went out to another major player in government contracts.
Okay.
These guys, the biggest headache I have at this location is that they completely shut out all phones, cameras, any kind of like electronic device. You cannot bring it in. None.
Okay.
And I do field engineering for this consulting company right now. So most of my job is documenting what we need to bring in, showing the related photo to, the desired design, and then, sending it off and creating a scope of work and then having the construction guys come out and fulfill it. So the big part about that is knowing where they're going, what it looks like, all the details that I can't give them.
Right.
So I'm out here, tell these guys, they're like, hey, okay, you're here, perfect, let's get over there. I'm like, I need you to wait. Wait right now. I was like, this is not the first time I've been at you guys' location. You guys are a different entity. So right away, call somebody with the camera. There's like 3 people in this fucking massive location that has a camera privilege. They call it camera privileges. So what ends up happening is that they're like, all right, let's go straight to this person. We know there's a camera in the office. And I'm like, dude, you can't go in there and grab that camera and then use it, because then, one, you don't have the authorized pass holder to take photos or even have that camera, and then you can't send me those photos. I need the photos so that we can submit and do the whole proposal.
Right.
And they're like, no, these guys, this is another thing. These guys aren't young. These guys are old. And when I say old, I'm not being funny about it. You know what I mean? They're probably 65 plus. They're definitely on their way out. And if they're not, they're trying to die there. Plain and simple. You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Anyway, so we get in.
Is it south of here, north of here, east of here, west
That's
of
in
here?
the Bay Area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I said, it's major government contract holder. They do a lot of secret stuff.
Okay.
They also make a lot of bombs. I don't know. Anyways, go in there, tell these guys right off the bat, hey, I know where the main location for all the equipment is.
So you obviously need clearance in order to get to this facility.
Yeah, so obviously I had to we have to submit prior paperwork of who I am, who's coming,
Right.
Whole list, right? So then they allow me access.
Passport.
It's the DL number, driver's license number, your name. This place didn't require the last 4 of your social, but I've been to places
No passport?
where they did. You only need your passport if you're not a citizen. So like they say, are you a citizen? I'm like, yeah, I'm a citizen. And then if they want to, if they want to, then they give you your driver's license number. Sometimes you need 2 forms of ID, which the passport would work because I'm a for sure. They're like, okay,
not the
you're
real
who you
ID.
are. The real IDs might, but right now it's still too new. Although, in March, you're going to have it for sure. Otherwise, you
I
can't
have it.
fly.
May.
I have it.
Oh, May, yeah. I got a passport, so it's still good for another year. I got to extend it. But anyways, so get in there, tell these guys this is the room. They're like, oh, that's not where we're going. And I'm like, look, man, I understand where you want it. And I understand where I'm going to put it. And I was like, but let's go. Let's do this ride. You know what I mean? I spent 3 hours at that location too. We walked to the far end of this location. Like I said, it's a fucking massive fucking area they have. Go in. They're like, okay, this is the location. And I open the door. We look in there, and I'm like, look, this is not it. This is not it. The main feed's not here. And then these guys had the nerve to argue with me. Yes, it is. It's coming from the street. It's bringing in. We have it. And then here am I just trying to be as peaceful as I can because, these guys are old timers and I can say anything too complicated and to confuse them. So I'm just like, look, man, I have a backlog of jobs in my phone. Let me just show you the photos. I'll show you exactly what I need. If you see it in here, point it out to me. I must be blind. right? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I have never done this in my life. You know, so I show them the fucking photos. They're like, I don't know what this is. I'm like, I'm telling you, this is the main feed. This is what we're looking for. And they're like, oh, no, something's wrong. Something's wrong. So the dude goes outside, calls somebody else. A little bit younger dude comes up, probably my age, honestly. Shows up. He's from like, I don't know. I'm not trying to like, you know, single
Profile.
out his. Yeah, I'm not trying to profile. I'm not trying to profile him, but he's like somewhere from probably like South Africa. You know, he's from one of those, countries there, South Africa. And, you know, he's talking, he's like, things starts getting kind of demanding. Like, no, it's here, this is where it is. And I'm like, hey, look, my friend. Look, my friend. You know, I literally hit him with that. Hey, look, my friend. You don't need to get angry. I was like, I'm telling you what I'm looking at and what needs to happen. And then he's just like, okay. Oh, okay. I was like, bro, what the fuck are you getting mad at me for? Like, I'm mad too. It's not here. You know what I mean? So then I have these guys, and then and then at this point, the picture lady shows up. She seemed like a very nice lady, very nice, just old. So I tell her like, hey, this is the way I need some photos. The last guy, you know, just handed me the camera. I took the photos I needed, and then I handed it back, and then you guys get it checked out, and you send it to me. And she's like, oh, no, you shouldn't have told me that. Now I got to write a report. And I was
She put her pants up.
bro, as soon as you said that, I was like, oh my. I was like, I'm dealing with these two fucking clowns, and now I'm dealing with the goddamn negative Nancy. I was like, dude, you got to be fucking kidding me here. It's a goddamn circus.
Oh man.
So
What I want to know is, how did you pass on this story? You said, I got nothing.
I forgot. So anyways, the lady, you know, starts
Alpha
taking
brain.
she starts taking photos, right? And she has a nice camera. It's like a Canon. I don't remember now.
Does it record more than 30 seconds?
No.
30 minutes?
It's just a photo camera, unfortunately. But she had this, you know, nice lens on it, and now, you know, it went from 18 to I think f-stop 18 to had to be like in the 50s, 58, something like that. So it was a lens that would be able to take relatively close photos and obviously like, you know, full on kind of wide shots. So I'm like, cool, take this wide shot. And then it just so happened the lady was just a bit shaky. So
Oh my lordy.
so I was like, and then for whatever reason, I don't know why, but when she wanted to point her camera at something we were taking, granted, this is a newer camera, so you can see exactly what you're pointing at on the back of it. She was always pointing at the roof. and I, you know, as nice as I could be, I was like, Miss, get lower, please. We need here, not here. And she's just like, oh, yes, you know. I'm telling you, she was a very nice lady. She just, you know, I don't know if she should be taking photos. So
Wow.
took some shots for me. She took some, I was like, look, I really need the close-up of these numbers. You know, all three of these numbers on these devices, I need them. Like it's not a requirement, it's necessity. We can't go forward unless you take those shots of those photos.
Yeah.
She's like, okay. She took a shot. I'm like, that's not going to work. And she's like, no, I promise you, you blow it up and you can see it. And I'm like, Miss,
You're shooting
Miss.
from the side.
it's blurry right now. That means it's not going to get clearer when I open it up. It's just not. That doesn't work that way.
So she took a picture and then showed you what she took.
After.
Oh, this is
Well, yeah. Well, this is after I finally was like, because I was like, why is she pointing the camera up in there? So then I got behind her because then I felt like
you were shadowing her.
Yeah, then I felt like, you know, one of those fucking guys, like, you know what I mean? I don't like that, dude. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, I tell you what, I point to what I want, and, you know, they do it.
Right.
And then when I figured out, like, you know, she's not doing what I'm pointing, so then I had to get behind her, direct her through it. And then she's taking photos with these the labels that I need, and I'm like, dude, you can't read a single word. And she's just like, oh, you can read it. I know. I'm like, Miss, if you just change the lens from wide open to just close it a little bit, like, you know, jump it to like 50, we can get a close-up shot, and it should be fine. She's like, no, this camera doesn't work like that. This is a very expensive camera. I'm like, Miss, unbeknownst to you, I am a very light amateur photographer. So I have a very similar camera plus about 10 other cameras with multi what do you call it, lenses. I know what you can get. And she's like, no, but you don't have this one. This one's different.
He was right.
And I was
You
like,
don't have this one.
and I was just like, I'm not gonna piss this lady off. You already pissed these fucking bozos off. I was like, okay, just take what you need. Just do it. She takes the shots. I tell these other guys, hey, we're going back to the main place because we're gonna put it there.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't think we can do that. And I'm like, dude. Then I went through the whole rigmarole. Like, hey, your guys' internal fiber has no labels of to, from, where. We don't know where it's jumping or how many jumps it's going. So yes, that's our circuit in that rack. But I can't have my people come out and try to figure out your network. It's not going to happen. So what we're going to do is put it exactly where I wanted to put it an hour ago. So we go back to that fucking main spot, have them open it, go in there. These guys at this point finally, I feel like they finally tasted like defeat because they're like, oh, this guy does know what he's talking about.
He's not going to give up.
Yeah, they're just, they just shut the fuck up after that. And I was like,
He just
Look.
told Betty that the pictures don't work.
yeah, well, get this. I let her take the shots, and I was like, all right, you say, right? Or you say. If not, I'm gonna tell you to go back out there and shoot him. Like, whatever, no skin off my back. Get in, fucking, tell these guys we're gonna drop it here. This is, take photos of these. We're done. The dude's like, and you're sure we need it here? I'm like, buddy, my friend, listen. Do you see anything in this area that looks or even corresponds to that other area? He's like, he's an old guy. He's all, no, I guess you're right. I was like, yeah, you fucking dodo.
Glasses down.
Yeah, I was like, dude, please. Anyways, we get out of there, tell them what's going to happen. Like, hey, you guys can move it wherever you want. We can drop the circuit. You guys find, if you guys can locate the path, pull the Sienna. Go put it where you want it. That's on you. Get out. I'll tell the lady, I'm like, miss, please, miss. I need those photos as fast as you can do it. She's like, well, I need to take them, and it's my lunch now, and I need to download them, and then I need to get them approved. And I'm like, miss, I was here last week. The guy got them approved in like 5 minutes and sent them to me before I even left the front door because it's a large location. So walking out takes a minute. And she's like, that's all. Shouldn't have told me that either.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to report it.
Exactly. I was like, lady, what? Can you report on yourself so they can fucking fire you? Get somebody else in here? But, okay, she's a nice lady. Anyway, so this is the fucking kicker. I get out there to the end, give my email to the old dude that was dealing with the whole time. I'm like, hey, man, yada, yada. I keep everything as professionally possible, obviously. Yes, I the way I'm talking now and the way I'm breaking the story down was a lot smoother in person and, just more professional, literally. Tell the dude what's up. Tell him you have any more questions, what to expect. He's like, no, we should be good. I'm like, okay, here's my email. Send them to me when you can. He's like, okay. So, when you send photos, you compress the file so you can send them, right? Mm-hmm. That way you can get them all. You can send like 10 photos a shot. This dude had the audacity.
Just said one per.
No, bro. Yeah, I got like 10 fucking emails. And the photos on of it, junk.
Let's see that email.
I can't.
Let's see those emails.
I can't show you the email, but it's junk. The photos are junk. There was some. Okay, not all the photos were junk, but the photos I needed of the fucking numbers, junk. So I was like, okay, well, guess we're just gonna push this job off. I have to figure out what to do now. And lo and behold, I got to call the main dude, the big boss, the OSP manager for the area, explain to him what's going down and why this is like this. And he's like, yeah, Vince, you know what? Fuck those guys. Put it where you think you put it. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm going to put it where I think I put it. He's like, it's all right, man. Glad you got it all taken care of. I'm like, okay. Just give you the update, brother. So I'll talk to you later. Boom, bada, bang. And then finish it this week. So we'll see if it goes through. I don't know. Hopefully.
I want to see those pictures.
I'll show you after. I'll show you after what the lady took. Like I said, very nice lady. You know, just
But she's past her time.
photo. I mean,
Photo
maybe if
wise.
she had a stand for her camera. So I don't know. It could be a number of things. Also, if she knew how to work the camera better, I could have got clearer shots. That's just me being biased, I guess.
I was hoping you were going to say that the pictures came out flawless.
No. You know, that would have been a kicker to the story. Yeah. That would have. Unfortunately, no, I got kicked in the ass like I thought it was going to happen.
Well,
But that was the highlight of this week. You know, can't beat it.
no.
Nice.
No.
Nice.
Cool. All right. So I knew we'd get a good story from you.
I had something.
I knew we would.
I know.
Yeah.
Something. It's something to end on.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. No, you know what we should end on? This guy right here tomorrow morning thinks he's gonna do a ultra run. What's it called?
The Spartan race?
He's doing the Spartan race.
Haha.
And he's
Tomorrow.
doing like the top tier race.
Oh,
Beast.
really?
He's doing 30 obstacles, 13 miles, and then he thinks he's gonna be fucking juiced up to go to this party Saturday night.
Where's this at?
This is Oakdale.
Can you make that event?
I ain't going the fuck over there. No,
Think of the camera footage.
I can think of one thing. I'm gonna be dead tired. This fool's running in the event. I don't know how he's gonna make it.
I'll be fine.
Well, for those of you guys that don't make it every week, these guys make the trip out here. Get the podcast. We do about 3 hours total, right?
Hour and a half,
Not-
maybe
no,
2
no,
hours.
No. I'm saying setting up.
Oh, yeah.
Tearing down.
Oh,
yeah.
Shooting the shit after the stuff
Yeah.
we don't want to record.
Yeah,
We
Stuff
don't
we
wanna
can't
get in
record.
trouble.
Follow ups on all the names.
yeah.
And and like Alex has to go and do a.
And then he thinks he's gonna run 13 miles with 30 obstacles.
I'll be fine.
So next week when we come back and shoot the next one, we will see if he was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be at the
That's
party.
why it would be nice to get some
On-
footage.
on Saturday?
Wait,
Oh,
is
is it-
anybody
oh.
going with you?
Yeah.
Huh?
No, he's gonna
Anybody
have.
going with you?
He said he's gonna bring a little
Yeah.
camera with him. We can get some footage.
Are you taking a GoPro?
GoPro. I am now.
We might be able. We might be able
I
to.
wasn't going to. I
You-
was just going to take my phone. And just,
Now your editing's gonna have to be
snippets.
super sick.
Oh, yeah,
and this
yeah,
podcast,
yeah. Oh, no,
you're
it's
gonna have
gonna
to
be-
you're gonna have to put a banner over you and just play your run on top of you.
I'm just going to show up with my medal. That's all.
Yeah, oh,
My participation
I
medal.
hope you get to the end.
Everybody gets one.
You don't get it
You're
if you
right.
don't get to the end. You gotta get to the
I'm
end.
making it to the end.
Oh, I like it.
What was it? I did Half Dome 2 years ago.
Bro, half dome,
Yeah, with 1 hour of sleep.
my boy. You're running 13 miles and jumping over 13 obstacles. Different kind of hike. That's a hike. That's a goddamn hike.
We'll see tomorrow. You'll see me at the party tomorrow.
Yeah, like this. Fucking dead. Fucking
we'll see.
dead.
We'll see.
Yeah, you know what? We will see, because I'm gonna take a shot of you right when I see you. Take a picture of you, and then we're gonna cut it in this next week's chat. See, like,
No,
this
wait.
is what he
Why
looked
wait?
like.
Why wait? Why don't we get mic'd up?
Oh yeah, maybe we'll see.
Let's get mic'd
Tomorrow?
up tomorrow, and then
We'll see.
yeah,
Get a live account of what actually happened that
Yeah.
day.
yeah,
I'll
All right.
be fine.
Maybe, yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
right.
We might shoot a little extra episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is the 1.1.
Yeah, exactly.
1.2, right?
Yeah, exactly. The 1.2 over here.
We'll see.
How'd you do? 1.2.
Yeah, exactly. No doubt.
Well,
Well, finished up strong.
yeah.
Run. You better run our intro.
Run our
Or
outro.
Outro. Thanks for everybody who watched this podcast.
Yep, definitely.
Don't forget to subscribe. We got what 15 or 20 subscribers
Oh, hell yeah.
on
Including-
YouTube.
Not including us?
Right, not including us.
All right, there. Hey,
I
that's how you
mean,
start.
numbers are going up, I guess.
That's how you start. You start little by little, right?
yeah.
Yeah, appreciate everybody watching, listening.
Watch them.
Yeah.
Don't forget to
For your
subscribe.
entertainment.
Watch them, like them, comment below.
Yeah,
Tell
drop a
us.
comment.
Yeah, drop a
Obviously,
comment.
our
What do you think?
videos.
Do we suck? Are you guys getting entertained?
Are you entertained?
Hey, trust me, we won't get mad. We
Yeah,
won't-
but
you can call me fat. I don't care.
We all can lose a little weight.
right.
Yeah.
You guys.
We're going to see him pencil thin tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
All right.
Alrighty.
All right, man.
Well,
No doubt. Appreciate it.
Nice shooting the shit.
shooting the shit. Roll the outro.
3, 2, 1. Let's go.